like I said, the boy gets after it. Next up, we've got a punter. Mr. Will Gadd. He's a repeat performer as well. He's got up here, gave us a great show about 3 years ago. It was very memorable. And let's look for a little of the same tonight.
Thanks to every time I see pictures of the Bugaboos, I think I'm really doing something wrong because I didn't go climbing there yet again. So thanks, Chris, for that. That was rad.
John.
Well, dope. And I've had a few beers. Right on. Moving right on. So my show tonight, most of you have seen pretty much all my shows that have anything to do with climbing. And so I thought I'd pretty much skip that and show exactly one climbing photograph and then move on. What I'd like to talk tonight about is selling out to make a living. And before I wanted to do that, before I get into that, I thought I'd talk about ethics really quickly because I didn't really get to talk, and ethics are really important to me. So ethics in general are really heavy. In that pack are the entire ethical discussions of the last 40 years. And it just prevents you from actually going climbing. The more you get enmeshed in that, and the more time you spend wasting your life on the internet and arguing about this shit, the less time you're actually going to go climbing. So if you don't want to end up like that, go climbing. The Rockies are huge. Go climbing, and you'll forget about all of this stuff. When you're out there on some obscure choss pile out there in the Rockies, it's all going to seem totally irrelevant. And that's my best advice on ethics, is to go climbing. And I've never, ever thought about ethics when I was like 30 feet out on some piece of shit new route. So blow it off. Go climbing. Quit your job. It's worth it. So right on. Anyhow, part of the reason I say that is I'm getting kind of old. I'm like 280 years old in climbers' years. It's kind of like dog years, but with less free food and less free pats. I'm like 41. So I've got to come up with a new plan because I can't climb all that hard, and the sponsor checks are getting kind of lean. And so I thought, right, I'll sell out and I will become a TV star. And this is my new plan. And I thought, Britney Spears can do it or whatever, why not me? So this is what I'm doing now. I got this gig. This guy from London called me up one night, and he's like, could you come to London tomorrow and talk about our TV show? And I thought it was a joke, so I hung up on him. And he called back. He's like, no, really, come to London, And so I get on a plane, fly to London, get off the plane, have 4 hours of meetings, and he says, all right, what you're going to do is go to all the coolest places in the world and do your sports. And I was like, and you're going to pay me for this? I was like, yeah. And I was like, right. When the check shows up, I'm in. So this is what I've been doing for the last year, is kind of flying around the world and posing for this TV show and trying to pay for my future daughter's education. And it's for the Discovery Channel, and it's called Fearless Planet. It's running pretty much everywhere right now. And what I do is I go places, and they point cameras at me, and occasionally I have to talk. So the first place we went is to Hawaii, and showed up there, and the producer had heard that I was a really good waterfall climber. He's like, oh, you're the world's best waterfall climber.
There's almost no flatland here.
There should be some volume with this, but we could.
Runs fast, cutting into the island and creating waterfalls. There are more here than any other state in North America.
I flipped. I rolled. Then I jugged a rope.
Up to 40 stories high, one waterfall can carry 300 million gallons of water every day. That's enough to supply the needs of everyone in Manhattan. And to understand how they are related to the giant surf waves, you've got to get to the top.
You really feel the power of the water when you get under it. It just slams you around.
Up here, you can see the secret of Jaws. This is the answer. A running battle between rushing water.
Get in there deeper. Get in there deeper. Come on.
But what makes this clash so potent is the exact nature of the rock itself. It's young and volcanic, and rich in life-giving minerals.
I can see how it just eats through the volcanic rock.
Anyhow, that was Hawaii. So next up was Alaska, and they put me in an inflatable boat with my crampons on and sent me off to climb some icebergs. And then the producer's like, "Oh, all right, we hear you're a kayaker. We've got just the thing for you."
These roaring torrents are formed as glaciers melt on their lower slopes, and they're a vital measure of its health.
Yeah, the funny part of it is that they sort of neglected to mention that, as most glacial streams do, it ended in a great big hole in the glacier where it went down. And I didn't want to pull a Bob Sanford and like go underneath the glacier for a while. So fortunately, there were some commercial fishermen on the trip, and they strung like a gill net up across the end. So I'd come like bombing down this thing, and then these people would capture me at the end. And then that worked really well until the water level came up about 3 feet in the middle of the afternoon, and I went like flying over it. I'm trying to eddy out in some glacial stream, but it all worked out pretty well. So then